Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Ananda Desya Putih Aulia, Fakultas Ilmu Tarbiyah dan Keguruan, jurusan Pendidikan Islam Anak Usia Dini. English Education for Early Children. Early childhood language cognitive development. The development of a child language has actually started since the child was born by using the simple language or pre-speech, namely crying. Then development in the form of gathering or babbling. Simple words or sentences accompanied by body movement or recommend as a complement to speech in the educational psychology. There is a learning theory that can be used as the basis for teaching. The learning model that is quite well known is the intellectual or cognitive development approach, which was coined by Jean Piaget. In Piaget model, each individual experienced the following level of intellectual development. 1. Sensorimotor stage, age 0 until 2 years. At this stage, children begin to read and control their environment through their 5 senses and movement. Baby behavior at this stage is solely based on the stimulus it receives around the age of 8 months. Babies have a knowledge of object permanence. Even though an object is invisible at one time in front of its eyes, it does not mean that the object does not exist. Before the age of 8 months, babies generally think that they don't see mean they don't exist. At this stage, the baby has a word based on his observation on the basis of the movement or activities carried out by the people around him. 2. Pre-operational stage, age 2 until 7 years. Children try to master symbol or word and are able to express the experiment, even though they are not logical or pre-logical. At this time, the child is egocentric, namely saying something from himself or perception centration, be saying something from one tribe, while other characteristics are ignored. At this stage, the child is able to think before acting, even though his thinking ability has not yet reached the level of logical thinking ability. During 2 until 7 years, children's lives are also marked by an egocentric attitude, where they think subjectively and are unable to see the objectivity of other people. So they find it difficult to as other people view. Another characteristic of children whose cognitive development is at the professional stage is their inability to distinguish that the same two objects have a five mass, number or volume may, even though their shape is changing, because they do not think abstract. Children at this age learn more agility if the teacher involves the use of concrete objects further than using only words. 3. Concrete operational stage, age 7 until 11 years. At this stage, the children understand and thinking that is concrete yet abstract. In general, at this stage, children already have the ability to understand the concept of conservation. That is, even though an object changes its shape, its mass, number, or volume remains the same. Children are also able to observe, assess, and evaluate so that they are not as egocentric as before. Children's thinking ability at this stage is still in concrete form. They are not yet able to think abstract, so they are also only able to solve concrete lesson problems. Learning concrete lesson problems. Learning activities that involve students in direct experience are very effective compared to teacher explanation in the verbal form or word. For formal operational stage, age 11 until 15 years and over. At this stage, the child able to think abstract. At this stage, student ability are already at the stage of abstract thinking. They are able to propose hypotheses, calculate possible consequences, and test their hypotheses. If faced with a problem, students at the formal operation stage of development are able to formulate all possibility and determine which possibility are most likely to ours based on their analytical and logical thinking skill. According to figure, children age 2 until 7 years are in the professional stage, which is a stage that has the main characteristic of development using symbol or sign language and intuitive concept. This stage is diving into the stage. The first stage is the pre-conceptual stage 2 until 4 years, where are the representation of an object is expressed by language, picture, and imaginary games. English education for early childhood. The most language sensitive period in the person's life is between the ages of 2 and 7. All kids up aspect of language must be introduced to child before the sensitive period ends. In this sensitive period, it is very important to introduce good and concrete way of speaking because this skill is very useful for communicating with the environment. Based on this theory, it is appropriate if English is introduced to children as early as possible. Given that English is the first foreign language in Indonesia, the learning process must be carried out in STEAM. Election material that are appropriate for the child age and are also effective for the cognitive development of children language and fun learning situation must be major concrete in the success of a learning process. The success of the learning the English the English learning process in early childhood is centrally influenced by many factors, including 1. Qualified teacher. Teacher who can turn on the process of teaching and learning activity. 2. Learning resources and facility are adequate and meet the requirement or adequate. 3. The curriculum is good, simple, and active. On the other hand, it is necessary to understand that early age is the act of play. Every child is a unique person and the world of play is a serious but exciting activity from them. So the right approach needs to be characterized by an educator so it's more interesting and fun without leaving the concrete language rules. The approach should be in line with the purpose of language recognition in general. The goal is that children understand how to speak properly and concretely, that to express their ideas or opinions and can communicate with their environment. In learning English, there are many methods and techniques that can be used, including through 1. Storytelling. 2. Role play. 3. Art and craft. 4. Games. 5. Show and tell. 6. Music and movement with it included singing and cats and rhymes and so on.